The Seattle Sounders return to practice today after the humiliating and quite disappointing 3-0 loss to Real Salt Lake in the first game of the League Cup Champions tournament. And as I said, so the Sounders, a lot of soul searching went on, and you'll hear from João Paulo a little bit, head coach Brian Smetzer, also talking about, just the need to move on, but people to step up and have people really, because, they've got a game on Sunday against Monterrey, and in that one, the Sounders have to get a result, or else if things don't fall right, then, they're out. So today's practice really was a spirited one, as I said, after some soul searching in terms of the team having to really say, hey, look, things have to change. We have to get results. People have to step up. So here is what Brian Smetzer and João Paulo had to say.
That start to push us back to our half field, and kind of that create a more possession for them, and we kind of got stuck in our own half. In second half, I think we started well. We created that first chance, and the counter-attack they score. So I feel like these little things change the game. So it's not just for the last game. I feel like all year, these little things, we need to be better.
I didn't hear anyone using this as an excuse, but what were the conditions like? I mean, I heard that it was like 100 degrees earlier in the day.
Yeah, I try not to give any excuse, because for both teams it was hard. But altitude and the heat was challenging. But for sure, that's not an excuse. We need to play better and play our game.
How about the physicality component? It seemed like the ref was really allowing play to happen, and every time there was a duel, there was an impact. Did that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, I was a little bit mad to the referee about Rango. He made like 4 or 5 fouls in the first half. So I told him if it was JP, for sure we have a yellow card. So this kind of situation we don't understand. Like I said, we are not here giving excuses. We didn't play in our potential, so we need to be better on Sunday.
JP.
It appears like it appeared like you guys quit on the play when they got the first goal, and Raul was definitely looked like he was fouled. So was that the case, or can you kind of describe what happened there when he and Albert?
For me, it was more than Albert. That I think was fouled in Albert. I'm not sure if Raul was PK, but definitely was fouled on Albert. I watched it a couple times. But it is what it is. I think in that moment we didn't stop. I think in that counter-attack we got a good number of defenders to defend, and unfortunately we didn't stop them.
JP, on the familiarity, I hope I answered my question. When you're talking about the little things in the final third there, is that familiarity? Is that film study? How do you correct those things?
Practice. We were watching a lot of film, but for me it's more practice. And I think we had a couple weeks with midweek games. So now having 2 weeks of playing only in the weekends, I think we can practice more this final third. And it's not all about final third. I think it's a combination of plays. Our defending need to improve as well. So, yeah, all around we need to be better on Sunday.
And then just how important, this is what you're saying, but how important is that pass from the back line to the second block and obviously to the third block? How important are those passes?
Yeah, it's a key of our game, this build-up. And we're doing pretty well along the year. Like I said before, I feel like after this, we break this first line, how we keep possession in final third, if we go like side to side, keep the ball in the final third and create chances, because it's all about creating chances and score.
How is the locker room? Like, do you feel that, or was there a need to, with the little things that are going on, to have a team meeting type of thing, or discuss among the team, or anything like that? Like, how are you guys as a team right now?
Yeah, the mood was not good after the game, to be honest. We had a conversation in the last few days, and I think it's time to be more aggressive in the game, to push each other, to, like I said, these little things will be determinant to win or lose the game. So now is not more space to errors. We need to adjust and be better.
JP, what do you need to do from a personal standpoint in order to influence those changes that are needed in the club?
I mean, I think everybody in this club needs to be better and do more for each other. I like to say this is a constant learning for everybody. So I'm here open to do my best and to improve and help my teammates, especially the young guys. Yeah, so my mentality will never change. I'm here to win, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win.
We talked about it yesterday morning, the first day back, about sticking together, the guys who they're working for, who they're working with, why do they do things. We have good jobs. There's lots of positives. Certainly wasn't a good performance, but we're trying to pick little things out, things that we can build on. I think the mood is good. I think Nico coming back is going to help, because he was training in full. So Cristian is in a better spirits. I mean, look, I don't know if he's going to feature, but at least he was around and in a better mood, because I think that took some of the wind out of our sails. So just combination of things. I think you'll see a determined group out there on Sunday.
And then Stefan Frei, update on him.
Yeah, so he's going to see a finger specialist, a hand specialist. He dislocated something in his little finger, and he tried to put it back himself because he's a tough kid. And it's got to just make sure, the doc just wanted to make sure that everything's okay and slipped in okay. And
So is he going to be able to play Saturday then?
yeah, I expect him to play Sunday.
He tried to put it back together in the game or training? Or?
I think it was after, Jada. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, him and Tommy, because goalkeeper, look, that's a tough position, and all those guys are tough, and he was just trying to get it back in place.
But did the injury happen during the game?
Yeah.
With Cristian, so he's still going through
Yeah, Cristian won't feature in the game. He's got to go through concussion protocol. He's actually seeing a special. He was in good spirits.
Okay.
That doesn't mean he's gonna play, because the last time when Cristian went in a concussion protocol, you could kind of tell it affected the group a little bit. And I think Cristian's a positive guy. And he's trying to keep everybody. To your point, he's trying to keep everybody on a good way. But he's going to see the concussion specialist. It's obviously 2 concussions in a short amount of time, and so we're gonna again just be real careful and make sure that his health and safety are always number one.
Was that another one where he didn't, I don't remember him having a big head clash, or was that
The symptoms came on as the game progressed. It was actually the first goal kick. You remember that, like the 5th, 6th, 8th minute. We kicked it long to him. He goes up like this, and the guy just hit him in the back again with his arm, and the symptoms just increased.
So he wasn't himself for most of the when he was playing. It sounds like he wasn't himself.
I think everybody could see that. I think everybody could see that.
After the game, you talked about some damage control, about a result like this one can be difficult. You mentioned a little bit earlier about some talks and stuff, but what does the damage control look like for this group after a game like that?
Damage control is just keeping them focused and moving forward. I mean, the team is not going to play perfect all the time. We haven't been in a good run of form, but I still believe that this team has too many senior experienced players, to not pull us out. And whether they are able to pull us out versus Monterrey, or whether when the season starts up again, those senior players are going to lead, and I have confidence that they can do that.
Pablo mentioned that part of his game plan was to take out João and Obed out of the game. Did you feel like he was able to do that easily?
Well, they didn't have good performances. I think the trap that we fall into sometimes is when we defend, and then we give the ball away. We have to defend and defend again. That really hurts us as a group, as a team. And I didn't count, but when you watch the tape, there was a lot of giveaways that normally if we sustain possession, if we get possession, we can take some pressure off ourselves. And that just didn't happen.
During the CCL run, having João and Albert in that holding midfield seemed to be very productive. Why has the team kind of gone away from that duo at central midfield?
Well, because the kid is playing well, and we want to shift Albert up a line higher because we need score.
Brian, when you talk about the performance you didn't get from Obed and João, what was it? Was it the defending, or once you got possession and then that pass?
Too many easy giveaways. Plus, they needed to be 5 yards higher up the field. They needed to be on their 2 forwards. I think they were dropping back. We had 5 guys. 3 of their guys could mark 5 of ours.
And then it looked again, you didn't have enough people in the box. I mean, is that a fair assessment, or is it
we
difficult?
didn't get the ball close
you didn't
enough
get
to
close
their goal.
enough to see that. Okay.
How are Monterrey and RSL different?
Well, they're kind of similar. Okay, that's actually a good question. They will play some version of 4-4-2. Monterrey will send their fullbacks higher, get an experienced team, very good team. Their goalkeeper is very good in possession. How we press, when we press is going to be critical. We do want to come out on the front foot, but we'll have to be careful if we get stretched or we don't press effectively. We fall into that trap again, and we don't want to do that.
Is playing a different type of opponent how does
It gets
that?
the guys a little more excited. Yes, absolutely.
So there's no concern right now as far as unity or anything like that.
You watch them out there in training. They were all working good.
Defensively, talking to a guy like Jackson Reagan after the tough goal to give up, how do you approach that? Just so he learns from that moment.
Well, the learning curve there was he needed to keep him closer on the touchline. When he first engaged him, he was out here, but then Jackson kind of let off, and then he was able to, put his, get a little bit more inside. Had he been 5 yards wider when he took that shot, maybe he doesn't get that. So, and he's done a good job with it. When they watch the film, it's a learning curve.
How much is some of the offense wanting to see it click, wanting to see it flow better, part of just having to have patience as a coach and believing that it'll come, or is there a part of your mind where it's okay, we've got to change things up to get results?
Look, we're going to have to change things up with Christian's absence. Luckily, Jordan can slip in. Do I have the patience? Yeah, sure. But we do need to start scoring. I mean, somebody needs to step up. Jordan was very hot early. Raul's got to get going. The guys from midfield. We tried to push Albert up the line. All those guys. And sometimes streaks, goal scoring, good things happen when it's maybe it's Nuhu scoring another goal. and he can spark the team, or maybe it's Yaimar on a set piece. We need something to break the ice to start everybody scoring.
How was Obed?
Last couple for Coach, guys.
How's Obed? I mean, he's 17. I'm just, having that discussion with the young kid.
Yeah, he's fine. He'll be fine.
I'm not saying you didn't,
Look, it's a
Pretty
learning
good.
experience for the kid too. You
Yeah.
didn't have a good performance, and I stuck Josh in there, and that's competition.
I don't think it would be fair to say that the result like that comes completely out of nowhere, but it did seem like it was sort of a real potential wake-up call kind of thing, like to get a 3-0 loss where you're just sort of out of the game. Did you think that sort of was a shock to the system a little bit?
Yeah, just like Portland earlier this year. I mean, yeah. Yes, the answer is yes. Wake up call.
All right, there you go. You saw them practice penalty kicks. Is that an omen in the B-roll? Maybe not. But you heard from João Paulo. You also heard from Brian Smetzer. So no other notes here. Stefan Frei was not here because he's seeing a finger specialist. He jammed his finger during the game, put it back in, and he should feature on Sunday, but it's just more precautionary note. Cristian Roldan is in concussion protocol, and so he will not feature on Sunday. And other than that, it's a spirited practice, and really Brian Smetzer is going to spend all week trying to figure out what combination can work for the team to get a result on Sunday against Monterrey. For the CascadiaSports.net practice report, I'm Osvita Mare here.